These are some of the balanced armature IEM that you should try or own. Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about full balanced armature IEM. I've handpicked from 1BA to 10BA. And disclaimer, some of them are loaner units and this is only my subjective take on each one of them. So please take a grain of salt. So let's start with 1BA. 1BA is not very common in the market, it's quite rare. And a lot of them are not very great. So I've chosen this B2 from Final Audio. It's metal built, it's built very solidly and has very nice design. It has a very rich and large sounding signature to it and very reminiscent of my Oracle, which also sounded very rich in terms of mid-range. Okay, but 1BA, there are downfall to 1BA because it cannot cover all the range. So that's why the treble on this B2 is a little bit roll off. You won't get the best technicalities on this, and detail retrieval is also lower than average. But for you guys out there who are looking for a very good, very well built shell, okay, and with you wanted a very smooth listening experience, so the B2 might be your consideration. And next we'll be talking about 2BA. I thought of doing this 2BA, also give this to Final Audio, but I just think that maybe other brands can take the stage this time. So I'll be talking about this from T2 from High Senior, a brand that just came out with a hybrid IEM that is very good in terms of price to performance. So this T2 is 2BA. It has 1BA for the lower end to mid-range and have another one for treble. It's tuned towards neutral. Okay, it's not the most musical set out there, but I just find that the neutrality and the monitoring taste on this is quite good. Okay, it's quite good. The separations of instruments and the directions of where the instruments come from is quite good, and I would say detail retrieval is also good in these configurations. Okay, 2BA. So for you guys out there who like something to be more neutral, this might be another one for you to consider about. Next we have 3BA. This is from Audio Starling. So thank you Daniel for lending this to me. This IEM is their own in-house IEM, and this Starling, the one I've gotten here, is in white. You can have a variety of faceplate and design and shell, just as if you can do your own custom. If you don't want to do custom, you don't want IEM shape, you can also choose your faceplate, okay, and your shell. So this is 3BA. 3BA is finally a configurations that can cover all the ranges, because you can have 1BA for the low end, one for mid-range, another one for treble. This IEM, I would say, is warm and balanced sounding, very safe tuning as well, with a little bit of monitoring flavor in it. The Starling, I would say, bass, is it that? I would say sub bass, not that much. Okay, it has a little bit bump in the mid bass. Hence, for drummers out there, you have that very satisfying impact from the drums. Okay, but not sub bass. And next we have upper mid-range. I would say the vocal on this take the second row. Okay, take the second row. It's not because the instruments like the strings guitar, the piano, all of those will be taking the first row. Hence, I would think that this IEM is more suited for musicians, okay, working on stage, so you can hear the instruments clearly. It is also very clean sounding. Hence, I would think that very good IEM for stage vocals up there. So this is a very smooth sounding IEM as well. But then just also the same issue with the B2, where I think that the treble is a little bit roll off. Okay, a bit roll off. You don't get that airiness in the upper treble. So next, let's go to the fourth. Okay, we have 4BA. This is one of my favorite lists, a brand that you guys don't hear about a lot. This is from Clara. Okay, Clara, I think maybe originally their name, they want to name it something closer to Clarity or something. So this is Clara, a brand from Japan. Okay, Japanese brand. So this brand is very well received in Hong Kong and in Japanese. So it tune is very suited for Cantonese and J-pop, okay, hence that's why it's very well received there. It has a lot of impressive tech in it, so I will just briefly go through some of them, okay. So it has this composite housing structure, and it has also 3D printed for some of the holders for BA in there, and also it has this porous filter, their in-house porous filter, so that the base come across cleaner and more precise, okay. So because it acts as a low pass filter. So, and then the most interesting thing is that they have this, I will call rear cavity pressure optimizer. So it is a maze shaped kind of a passage inside the IEM where it can release pressure, and it can also, I would say, improve the note weight and then reduce distortion. So I don't know what is the magic going on this. This tech is usually seen on more expensive, more high-end speakers. So inside a speaker, if you take a speaker out, you can see that there is this passageway, okay. It depends on different brands. They have their own kind of passage, their own maze going on. So not sure how does it improve the sound, okay, really, but I guess they have their own theory in it. So this 4BA IEM, I would say sound signature is tuned towards balance as well, with a hint of warm. I would say it sounded very polished, okay, very refined, or should I say it sounded very Japanese. Alright, so the start of the show here is the vocal. The vocal, it doesn't felt very forward, okay, or into your face, that kind of forward, but it just feel it's very exquisite, okay. It's very exquisite. It's very, I would say, have that very fine presentation. So a very special way of presentation that people might enjoy this for a very long time listening session, because maybe this is the way of Japanese tuning thing. So that's why this very refined thing just make this become one of my favorite IEM, okay. So I would say the build quality on this is superb, and the sound is very refined. So this is how I would describe this Carrier i430. Next we have 5BA. 5BA, this set needs no introduction. This is RSV from Software. It is very well received, and back then when it released, right, a lot of reviewers give it a lot of good praises, and same to me, okay, same to me. This is an IEM that raised the bar up so high that set a standard for a lot of IEM out there, that this is how a good tuning can be for merely 5BA, okay. This, I would say, is RSV, a name that they name it. Maybe they want to name it something to be referencey, but I don't find it to be referencey at all, okay. It's not referencey at all. It's very fun sounding, very lively, and very musical at the same time, okay. It is tuned towards mid-centric, okay. It has a very lovable mids in the mid-range, and the bass on here is also very satisfying, okay, very satisfying. All the previous set that I mentioned just now don't have a really good bass, okay. It's not for bass head, definitely not for bass head, but the bass on the RSV is quite good, okay. It's quite good, have very good impact, very good slam. It just doesn't feel like it's a BA, okay. It doesn't feel like a BA bass, and the mid-range, like I say, is very lovable. So a vocal come across quite forward and quite clean, quite, I would say, crisp as well. Just that I would say if this IEM have I would say something to nitpick, maybe the shell, okay. The shell is a little bit too big, and for some of you out there, I heard reports saying that the port of the 2-pin is a bit loose, okay. It's a bit loose, so it's not ideal for cable swapping. So I've even tried one of the set over here in the shops that have loosened 2-pin, so your cable might not stay in there very securely. So this is one of the the complaints that a lot of people have, okay, that I found on forums, and I tried it out myself. All right, next we have another set, very well received set. We have 6BA, which is the Duno SA6. So this set, I would say a lot of people like it very much because it's a very versatile tuned IEM. It can listen to all type of genre, but it doesn't excel in all realms. Okay, so for bass, this, even with the bass switch is on, it still doesn't feel very bassy. Okay, doesn't give you that very good slam and punches. Okay, instead of punch, I just felt like it gives you a touch. All right, so it's not for EDM. Okay, it's definitely not for EDM. And for the treble as well, a lot of people are complaining that there is a dip in the 6K region where they say that this would make the instrument sound unnatural. But for me, I don't find it very obvious, and it is a trade-off. Okay, it's a trade-off because it will take away the harshness. Okay, it will take away the harshness where I'm okay with. Okay, where I'm okay with. So where this set is excelling is in vocal. The vocal on this is very sweet and engaging. Okay, it also have decent amount of details. So on this set is an all-rounder set that a lot of people like. The tonality on this is very special to its kind. Okay, some even say that this is reminiscent of those very expensive set like maybe the U12T, but I would think that although all the downfalls, okay, on this IEM, I just think that the tonality on this is just worth giving a shot to. Okay, because you can see there are a lot of people giving a lot of love on this IEM, but at the same time a lot of hate as well. So next we have another 6BA. I have to squeeze this in because it's my favorite IEM, so I just think that it needed some justice. That's why I'm squeezing this in. This is from U60 from 64 Audio. I mentioned this in my previous video before. This is one of my favorite IEM. So this IEM is again a very versatile IEM. It can sound very good on all type of genre. Okay, so it also have a lot of interesting tech going on this. It have Apex module, you have TA driver, you have lead technology on this as well, but I'll be mainly focusing on the Apex module where they have M10, which is MX, and M15 and M20. Just a little small thing that you can plug in and out on the faceplate of the IEM that can change the sound. So MX, being that it has the least bass, okay, but have the most openness, okay, the most airiness on sound. So if you put MX in, this IEM will turn into an IEM that sound more referencey, more monitoring flavor. Or if you put in M15, which is my favorite, you can get very good decent amount of bass. Okay, I would think one of the best bass, okay, that I've tried. So there are a lot of IEM out there with good bass, especially those with DD driver, but this BA driver with M15, this no sludge, is very satisfying to listen to, very addictive because it gives you that punch and slam. At the same time, it gives you that 3D-ness when the hit slam. Okay, and the treble on this is just very well tuned. Okay, very well controlled. Vocal come across, it's not super forward, but just felt very natural. Okay, very natural. It don't have timbre issue on this IEM. And I would say, why do I pick this to be my best? Because I can listen for this for like long time. Okay, 8 hours. Still feel that very satisfying to listen to, addictive at the same time. It sounded a little bit. A lot of people might say that this sounded mellow, but this is the reason why it's so nice. Okay, it's so nice. Okay, it's mellow, but in a good way. Right? So I have another set with similar technologies, okay, but similar spec as well, but it's not mellow, it's on the opposite side. It's bright, which is the Fur Audio VXV, but that one, don't like that one too much. All right, so hence I love this better. Next we have we don't have 7 BAs going on. I can't find any 7 BAs and 9 BAs going on. So next we'll be going to 8 BA. 8 BA is a very competitive configurations. Okay, there are a lot of brands with 8 BA and all of them are quite good. Okay, a lot of them are very good on this 8 BA setup. So 8 BA for most of the brand out there, it would be their flagship, right? We have flagship, for example, we have more budget ones like from AudioSense T800, which is very good. And if they're having sales, you can get it for 200 bucks, which is so worth it. Okay, and next we have like BGVP DM8, which sounded very good as well. We have Fearless S8Z, which is one of my favorite as well. And we have Moondrop S8 or A8. We have QDC. We have VE, so which are in the higher price point, which all these are in 8 BA. So this is a very competitive realm, okay, this 8 BA. But the one I've chosen today is again the Moondrop S8. The Moondrop S8 for me is Harman tuned, a little bit bright, but it remember the downfall that I mentioned on the SA6. This doesn't have that downfall. It is the improved version. Okay, it has decent amount of bass, very good bass. It does have bass, and very, I would say, the stage of, the star of the show here is the treble, the upper mid-range and treble, because I would say if sound have a physical form, I would say this S8 can produce crystal. All right, can produce crystal because it's just very transparent, very nice, very clean, very detailed IEM to listen to. Okay, it has I would say decent amount of energy that doesn't produce any harshness, to me at least, and it also have very excellent sound stage, excellent imaging and excellent separation. So for me, this IEM just hit all the boxes. Okay, have bass, have good mid-range, good vocal, good range, good soundstage, good detail. What else are you looking for? Because this is just an all-rounder IEM, okay, all-rounder IEM really. But if you are very sensitive to bright IEM, might give this a try first before try this out. But for me, this is super nice. Okay, this is super nice. This is one of the best 8 drivers IEM for me. But the downside is that the price is up there, even though a few years it's already been released for a few years, but the price still not go down yet. So for 700 plus to 800 plus dollar is a bit pricey. Okay, it's a little bit pricey, and the cable, the accessories are not the best as well. All right, so next let's go to the last one. Last one would be 10 BA. 10 BA, this is from C Audio Neo. I also mentioned this in my previous favorite IEM list before. So this IEM, I said before, like I sold the Anole VX, the QDC Anole VX to get this. Okay, Anole VX is double the price and also 10 BA, but I sold that and I gotten this instead because this is very detailed and very musical. Hence, there's no point keeping the VX, and I prefer the tonality on this C Audio Neo. And let's talk about the good stuff. This is a very balanced signature, and the very special part about this is that it's very detailed, but majority of the detail retrieval went to the bass, okay, went to the lower end part. So this IEM have the best kick drums sounding IEM out of all the ones that I've tried. Okay, you can hear it's very precise, it's very clean, and it's very fast, and just you can feel every detail, okay, of the bass hit on this. This is the one of the most detailed bass IEM that I've tried, because most of the time you have warm bass and you have very detailed highs. This go another way around. Okay, you have very detailed bass. So, and as the upper mid-range and the treble, like I said, it's very special. It has very warm upper mid-range to treble instead, so making this a very musical set. Okay, very musical set, because this is a very special tuning that I appreciate because of the warmth in the treble and upper mid-range. Okay, it doesn't mask the vocal too much, but hence giving that warmth just make it a little bit more musical. So VX is a detail monster. Okay, even though it's a detail monster, because even with 010 settings on the VX, I just can't find myself going back to the VX because it just don't feel very engaging. Whereas this Neo just felt detail is no slouch. Okay, maybe it can go on par with detail as well, but just more musical, hence getting all this. So that's all for my takes on all this full BA IEM. You can try all this out, but I know that people out there, some of you like single DD, some like tri-bridge IEM, some like planar, but full BA IEM sometimes it does have its own advantage. Okay, so it won't advantage. So this is all my tips, and I hope you guys like it. Please like and subscribe. Maybe next time we shall do something more interesting. That's all. Goodbye.